Hi everyone. Uh, Welcome to learnautomation.com. This is Mukesh. Today we'll talk about the drop-down in details, and today we'll see how to handle drop-downs and how to verify the content within the drop-down list. So let's get started and let's see the high-level agenda for today. So today we'll talk about the different method to select value from the drop-down. In Selenium itself, we have three different ways to select a particular value from the drop-down. And we have the same methods for deselecting as well. So in this video we'll mainly focus on how to select the values. And in Selenium it's not only about selecting the values, you need to verify, like after selecting some values, what exactly is getting selected. So we need to verify as well. So we need to get the exact content from the drop down list, and we'll check what the value has been selected. So we'll fetch the detail and we'll use assert here. So sometimes if you have multi-select drop down list, then you need to check whether um, whatever selected values are coming. So you need to fetch all the selected values. Let's say take an example of job portal, and if you're applying for three jobs, so you must be selecting three skills like Java, Selenium, and manual testing. So you need to verify what is the selected values. So get the values and verify again. Then we'll talk about how to fetch all the values from the drop down. Sometime it is very mandatory to check the particular list of values is coming in the drop down or not. Take an example, I have a application, and in that application I have country list as 10. I have only 10 countries, but in the recent they added two more countries. So I need to verify whether the total number of countries is 12 or not, whether the two countries which is recently implemented is coming inside list or not. So this kind of validation we will do now. So let's get started, and let me show you a big difference between traditional drop down and the drop down which is coming now in a different format, which is your HTML5 drop downs. So if you see Facebook, yeah, you will get very traditional drop down. So this drop down will come under select tag. So if you want to check, simply right click on this and you will get this option called inspect. So you will notice this drop down will come under select tag. So you can see this, right? Let me, yeah, scroll down, yeah. Or better if I show you this month drop down. So you can see this is coming under select tag, and you have a separate attributes for this: area, label, name, ID, title, right? But if I expand this, you will get all these values like month, Jan, Feb, March, and you can see by default month is getting selected. So they have given one more attribute called selected. So the main idea of showing this drop down, you can see I have here three select. First select is mainly focusing on the day, second select month, and the last one is year. So these kind of drop downs we can easily handle using select class in Selenium. We will discuss just after a few minutes. So if you have any drop down within a select tag, this tutorial will help you. But if you have this kind of drop down, so if you take example of Gmail, and if you get this is not a typical drop down. So if you want to check what it is, simply right click on this and say inspect. So now if you put mouse over on it and simply select this inspect element and select this, you will notice it is coming in the div tag. And if you expand this div tag, you will find, so if let's say if I need to verify this particular, then this is another div tag. It's not coming right now because it is not coming under select. So how to handle this kind of drop down we'll discuss in the next tutorial. As of now, let's focus on the drop down which is coming under select tag. This is drop down which is coming using another widgets. So this widgets can be your jQuery widgets or any advanced widget using HTML5. And it's very interesting part. So if any drop down which is not under select, you need to use find elements by XPath, and again you need to use a list to get the values. So we'll discuss this, but before coming to this, you should be familiar with the traditional dropdowns. So let's get started. If you have any other application, you can take other application. I will take Facebook because it is accessible for all. So first of all, I will create a project. Okay, project is already created. Let me create a fresh package, and the package name I will provide as dropdown. I will follow the Java convention. If I press capital D, you can see it is throwing me one warning. It says by convention package name you will start with lowercase. So let's stick to the convention. Let me give face drop down demo. Click on finish. I will get new project ready. So let's create a new Java class. So in this Java class, I will say select Facebook drop down. I will use testng, so I will not take public static void main. So the first method which I will create, it will be public void select drop down values, and I will start with WebDriver part. WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. Java Eclipse will give me suggestion, please import WebDriver, so I will import WebDriver and I will import Firefox driver. Firefox, not demo, it should be Firefox driver, and I will import it from here. Now let's pass the URL, and so driver dot get, pass the URL. Then same as usual, driver dot manage dot windows dot maximize. Now just go to your application and inspect. So in the left hand side you can see select and inspect. So I will click on this, and if I go to this month, I got this highlighted. So if you scroll up, you can see area label is coming, name is coming, ID. So let's take this ID. So we'll use ID here to inspect the drop down. So I will take web element and I will say month drop down. Let's give very meaningful names, so when I see my code I can identify what exactly we did. So by ID, pass the month, and now Selenium will ask you to import this web element, so put mouse over and import. Now we inspected the month dropdown. Now the time came, now we need to work with dropdown, or we need to fetch the value, select the value. So in Selenium they have already one class called select class. So if you simple type select cell, or let's say dropdown, let's say month equal to new select, and if you simply pass this dropdown whatever we created. So now what we are doing, we are creating object of select class which is already defined by Selenium, and we are passing this web element. So this month object will focus on this month dropdown. So month is just an object here. So I will give month DD. So it will be easy for you because month is already ID here. So let's give the object name is month DD. So select class will focus on this dropdown. Now if you can see it's throwing one error, so just put mouse over, and now Selenium is getting confused, not Selenium, Eclipse is getting confused like which select class to import, because even I can see three different select classes coming. One select class is coming from org.apache, which is not useful for us. Now the confusion will come here. It is also coming from OpenQA, and this is also coming from OpenQA. So select the third one, which is coming from org.openqa.selenium.support.ui. Now Once you import this, you can play with this month drop down. So if you simply type month underscore dd and put dot operator, you can see so many options are coming here. So if you simple see this one, for selecting itself we have three values, three methods: select by index, select by value, select by visible text. So for selecting value we have three methods, and if you see just opposite we have deselect methods as well. Deselect by index, deselect by value, deselect by visible text. We have a method called deselect all as well, which will deselect all the value and keep the default value. So I will mainly focus on this three as of now. So let's select by index, and you can see it is asking me what index. So now if you know indexing, index will start with 0. So 0 will contain this month, 1 will be Jan, 2 will be Feb, 3 will be Feb, or March, sorry. So based on your index, it will select the value, but indexing is not a standard way, because in future if I keep adding the values, indexes will keep on changing. So your previous script might fail. As of now, let's take an example and give index is 3. So it will select March. Now I can run the code and you will notice it will directly select March. But let's uh, use other two as well. If you put month underscore dd and select by value, index just now we tried, let's try select by value. And what is this value? So if you go back to application, so you can see for every drop down internally they have some value, right? So for Feb they have value 2, May they have value 5. So whatever value you will give, it will select respective respective value from the drop down. So let's select October. So if I give value as 10, it will select October. So let's give 10 here. And most important part, keep in double quotes, because if you put mouse over on this, select by value, it will accept as a string, you can see, right? So this particular statement, it will select October, and you can see I am selecting March then October. So let's give some 3 seconds of wait here. So I will give 3000. I'm using this blind wait here, so it will blindly wait 3 seconds and then it will continue with this. So put mouse over and you will notice it will throw one checked exception. So as of now, let's say throws. So these are two methods. I have one more, so let's use that also. And this is the most important, and I will highly recommend to use this, because visible text will not change. Take an example, I have to select one drop down, country drop down, and so I can see this value might change, developer might change these values internally. For India it will they will give some 12, for USA it will give 2, but visible text will not change. For India they cannot change it to any other text, right? So it will remain same. So highly recommend use this select by visible text if you have select kind of drop down. And one important point, this is interview question again. So it is case sensitive. Let's say this is August. I want to select August. So I will give AUG. If I give small AUG, it will fail because it will not match as per the application. So it will fail. So make sure you are giving the exact text which is coming on the screen. So it will select August. And again I want to see. So again I will put 3 seconds of wait in between these two. So you will notice it will start your application, it will open Facebook, it will maximize, and then it will find the month drop down. We'll create select class object. See right now I'm taking one example. You can take 3 different examples and you can use all these 3 methods. Just for the simplicity, one drop down I have taken and I'm applying all the methods. So first it will select using index. Second, it will select using value, and last one, which is the most recommended one, visible text. So let's wait. Sorry, let's run this and wait. Okay, so we have not added here testng or junit. So before your method, just type test and import testng. So let's run your test and wait for the result. So the methods which we are using, select by index, select by value, select by visible text, same thing you will find in deselect. So you will get the method as deselect by index, deselect by value, and deselect by visible text. I have not used till now because by default in my application I have uh, default values. But in case if you want to use, feel free to use. So it has selected March now, then it will select October and finally August. Yeah. And you will see your test case is completed. So it's saying total one failure 0 skip 0. So if you are comfortable with this example, so this you can take it as an assignment. You have 3 drop downs. So just select 13th May 2016. This using index, this using visible text, this using select by value. So whatever 3 methods I have explained here, you can apply on these 3 drop downs. Okay, so this example is done. So what I will do, I will just copy paste this and let's move to the next example. So I will simply copy paste here and I will give as 2, select Facebook drop down 2. So let me remove this code. So let's say uh, this is the code, month drop down we already selected. Now after selecting the index S3, I want to make sure it is selecting March only or not, right? Because if I say index S3, it should return me March. So what if I need to verify the same? Because automation is not all about doing some activity. Automation is mainly what assert, what validation you are doing, what assert statement you are applying. So don't worry, if you simply type month underscore dd, if you put just type g, you will get this method called get first selected option. Get first selected option, what it does, it will return you the web element. Let's say if you are selecting March, so get first selected option will return you this March drop down, and now we need to capture the text. So this is we have to simply call get first selected option and it will return you web element. So let's say, let me give some meaningful name, selected value. So it is only giving you the web element, but we need to capture the text as well. So let me give this sysout here and I will say after selection, selected value is, put plus operator, selected value, then get text. So get text is a method. What it does, it will capture the text from that particular web element, and web element is nothing but a selected value from the drop down. And let's see, copy paste this code and let's see before selecting what it returns, because before selecting, if I don't select anything, it should return me month, and after selecting it should return me March. So before running this code, if I want to check what is coming default, so I will say month get first selected option, get value text, so it should return me month. and once I select value using index, definitely value will change. So I will capture the text after selecting the value. So it should return me month and it should return me March. Right now we don't have multi-select drop down because I can select only one date, 1 month and 1 year. But in case if you have multi-select drop down, we have another method which will return you all the selected options. Since it's a single select drop down, I have to use this get first selected option. So let's run this code and check what it returns. So as of now I'm just printing only, but you don't have to print. You have to use assert statement and you need to uh, keep soft assert or hard assert. So let's run this. So just click on always save a resource before launching. So let's see the execution. March it is selecting, and now if I go back and check, okay, so you can see it by default month was coming, so it is giving month, and after selecting it is giving March. Sorry, this text we forgot to change, right? So it should be before selecting the selected value is this. So you can change it. Just a copy paste I did last time. As you can see, it is giving me March, right? So you can keep the assert statement. So this I will keep up to you. This you can take as an assignment and add assertion point here. And assertion point will be if March is not coming, it should fail the test. So this is my favorite method, get first selected option. I have gone through so many test cases which says select country, and after selecting we need to verify. Or take another scenario, the default selected country should be India or US or Canada. So if default country is not selected as per the requirement, it should fail my test. In that case you need to use this. So hope it is clear. So let's copy paste this code again. I have one more method to show. So if I say copy paste, always save. This time I will give this class name as 3 and I will remove this copy off. Now the requirement is I don't have to select anything. I have to verify the total number of values which is coming in the drop down is 12 or not, or 13. So let me remove this. So I have this WebDriver, Facebook, maximize, find element and select dropdown. So the first thing I need to check the total number of countries is 12 plus it is also having one more additional value called month. So total value which is coming, it is 13 or not. So just a one line of code, if you simply use this month underscore dd dot get options. So it's again very interesting fact you must have noticed, get options is giving me list of web element because it will return me the complete list of web elements. And get first selected option, it is only giving me web element, and the reason it will only return you one single element. And if you look closely, I have one more method called get all selected option. This is also giving me list of web elements because when I call get all selected option, it should return me the multi-select values, let's say 2 or 3. That's the reason you will find the difference in their return type. So let's call this get options and we will get list of web elements. So I will create a list of web element here and I will say month list. So don't worry, this list is actually concept of collection. It's a dynamic array you can say. So it will contain all the values which is coming from the dropdown. Since it was saying I will return you list of web element, so I created list of web element and the object name I gave month underscore list. But you will see it is throwing one error because we have not selected the import statement. So now it will again ask you, so don't confuse here again. You can see we are getting three kind of list. The list which we are using, it should come through java.util package. So select java.util and now you have this month list. So I want to print first how many values I have. So if I say size or let's say total month, so I will use this object month list and I will call one method called size. So this will return me total number of values in the drop down. So I will say total month count is total month. Okay, so this will only print. Now apart from this, if I need to print all the values, since I know this is a month list, so I will use one enhanced for loop. So simple type for, and as we know it's a web element list, right? So what I will do, I will say web element and I will give a local variable, let's say ELE, and I will specify this list. Don't worry, this is called enhanced loop or you can say advanced loop. So in this you don't have to say I equal to 0, I plus plus, then one condition. What it will do, every time it will take one value from this month list, then it will assign in the ELE. Then we will iterate and we will get the values. So every time I will get this ELE, I will say ELE dot get text. So it will return me the value. Let me say month name. Then I will start printing on it. Months are, so what exactly this for loop will do, this is an enhanced for loop. Whatever the list is coming, every time it will take the first value. Since month list is a list of web element, so in the left hand side I should have only web element. If this right hand side is a list of a string, then I should give it string here. If it is a double list, then I should give double, because each time it will give me one unique element I will store here. Then using get text, it will give me the value of the drop down which we are working on. Okay, so let's run this code and let's see how it works. So right now we are simply printing, but the actual task is not only printing, because printing is just for your purpose, but actually we need to verify using assert. So that is the next task. Okay, I think our test completed. So if you go back here, so you can see it syncs total month count is 13 because 12 months plus additional this month, and it is printing all the month, right? So this will be the complete code for this. So this is simply printing, but actual task is assertion. So I will keep one assert here. I will say assert, and assert I will take from testng, and I will say assert true. Let's say assert equals, that will be far better. Actual is total month, expected is 13. If any value comes apart from 13, this validation will fail. So for this validation, how you will do the validation? So just a small hint, and rest you need to code from your side. If you are not able to code this, let me know. I will give you the complete code. But the idea for the validation will be you should be having expected list of values. So right now, this is the actual which is coming from the application, right? You should be having a list of actual values and store in a list. Once you store in a list, we'll get the actual list from the application, then we will use assertion. Okay, so just try this. Create expected list of values and store them in an array list, and then we can compare easily this one. Okay, so this is what I have for this tutorial. So far we have discussed three programs. In the first program we discussed how to select values using three different methods. In the second program we have seen how to get the first selected values so that we can apply validations. In the third program we have seen how to verify the count of the number of values we have using this size method, and how to get all the values from the dropdown and how to put assert. So assertion part is still up to you. I will keep this as an assignment. So try to code this and let me know if you're not able to code. I will create another tutorial for this, or I will share the code. So let's check. Yes, we have completed everything. So thanks for watching this video. If you still have any doubt on any topic on Selenium, just drop me an email. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.